we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car, so that we could sorry, my mind.
Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you are all well. I'm going to start the video just by giving a shout out to Morbid Reality. This guy, what is he thinking? Those of you who haven't heard of him, oh, well, you're the lucky ones. Those of you who did come to me through email and point out that he'd done yet another video kind of slating the fact that we do videos on Kiely Rodni. Now, the funny thing is, this guy, he does videos on his DVD collection, and then he subsequently does a series of videos on Kiely Rodni himself, and then he kind of realises that where he'll probably fit better is if he attacks the creators who are talking about Kiely Rodni and jump on that bandwagon. While all of a sudden, the whole premise of what he does is Kiely Rodni content. So, there we go. Anyway, I'm not going to mention him anymore. Sami, what you've literally just heard at the beginning of that was Sami stating something in the interview with Tony Dodge. And I'm going to take you through some notes that I took. And I've watched, listened to this interview over and over again. I've just written some things down that I feel are important. Now, it states that, Sami's saying that she's a close friend of Kiely's. She's saying that they've been close for a year, then she says coming months, then recently. And I thought, what is she doing there? Is she backtracking so that anybody who does really know her in that inner circle, they would know that potentially she was lying there, she was being disingenuous? So I don't know whether she'd made a statement and then was trying to retract it without retracting it, so she could still sort of justify being in the front of everything and dealing with everything, but without drawing that much attention to herself. I could be wrong, but it just seemed a little bit weird that she'd sort of said that we're close friends, a year, months, recently. That time down. She's not friends with Kiely's mum either on social media. Now, the others are, like Elsa and Kate and Jagger. They're all friends. But Sami, despite the fact that these pair are fucking spooning each other every chance they get, they're not following each other on social media. And that could be nothing. Sami's not into having too many followers. I think she's only got around 30,000 on TikTok. So she's quite picky. But anyway, she then pays Kiely a load of compliments. She's talking about the fact that, she's a beautiful girl. She's got a lovely singing voice. She loves the water. She's an outdoorsy girl. She also says that Kiely was always there for people. I kind of got right. So Kiely was someone that you could call on for favours then. She was one of those. She states that she was the last person to contact Kiely after the party. She states that. She says that she was the last person to contact Kiely after the party. Now, let's not forget that the last call that they had, Sami states again that she could hear that Kiely was still at the party. She could hear it going on in the background. So, a little bit strange, to say the least. But anyway, that's just something else strange in that interview, that this isn't about that today. She claims that she was with Kiely throughout the entirety of the party. She really does push that a few times. She says that obviously she didn't arrive with her, but they were together throughout the party. They went to pee together, the pop and squat. And, they broke off occasionally for a short period of time to do stuff. Well, we know stuff weren't peeing because they were peeing together. So I don't know why they would break off to do stuff. And she went, I don't fucking know. Someone please tell me what she meant by because I haven't got a clue. Now, yeah, they were walking around together. They were with each other throughout the entirety of the party. They had a conversation about clothing. Thank you very much, Tony, for taking that interview, because the fact that you butted in and changed the subject entirely fucked that up. So, yeah, she was just confirming about the bodysuit. They were questioned whether the bodysuit had been found. We know that there was a black bodysuit found. Sami had stated that had not been confirmed, and not to trust anything unless it comes through us. I didn't know when Sami started working for law enforcement, but us. Sami confirmed it was a senior party. All grades were invited. Also, that people from Truckee, Tahoe, Incline, the surrounding areas were expected. Sami confirmed she knew Kiely was going, but they had not together, and Kiely had gone with Mags. Sami confirms Mags left 10 minutes into the party with Ross, her boyfriend. We saw Mags being interviewed. Obviously, Mags had stated why she left, the uncomfortable offerings, and that had contributed to her leaving. Sami says something strange here, though, because she says that Kiely and Mags never intended on leaving together or hanging about at the party. She states that Kiely and Mags only drove there together because they'd been hanging out earlier in the day. So my question here is, so what was the plan for Kiely then? Because why would Kiely go to a party with her best friend and have no intention on being with her at the party? I can understand leaving, maybe there was other plans, but and Sami knew that. Sami knows everything. Sami knows absolutely everything. I found that a little bit odd that she'd stated that Kiely had gone there with a best friend, but they had no intentions of spending any time together there. Yeah, so this is where Sami states that literally from the second Kiely arrived, she was with her. Only breaking off for mere moments. She says these mere moments were to talk with other people and do other things. Again, please let me know what these other things are. Right. Sami states that they were drinking the same drinks, being teenagers, acting illegally. Let's not forget that drinking alcohol is illegal for them at this stage. And it's a criminal offence for anybody to be giving Kiely alcohol at 16 years old. So, a question to law enforcement here, as an excerpt. Have you been looking into where the alcohol come from, who sourced it, and what are you doing about it? I'll await that email. So Sami then goes on to say 10 to 10:30, this is where the party starts to grow really big. Sami says the party just blew up. And it got to the point where Sami was feeling overwhelmed. And she's a sociable person. Don't we fucking know that, Sami? She rarely pushes this point. She says it was bigger than any party they've had all year and years past. They've had others too. That's where a few of the photos you've seen were taken. Yeah, there's some photographs of the stalls that are set up with the drinks that are being sold. I think a few of you guys had been led to believe that they were this party that Kiely had attended. They're not. They're from a party that happened, I believe, in April of the year. So, yeah, not the same party. Sami confirmed that they were going around drinking and taking shots, trading drinks with each other and sharing drinks with each other. So Sami was giving Kiely alcohol. Sami states they would go to Kiely's vehicle to get alcohol. So I do ask, so did Kiely bring alcohol to the party? Or did someone put the alcohol in Kiely's vehicle when she got there? To keep it away from the rest of the people, perhaps? I don't know. But obviously there was drink in Kiely's vehicle. So I will say, when Kiely's vehicle was found, it would be interesting to know whether there was any remnants of that, any empty bottles, anything like that in the vehicle. Some of you may already know that. Now, what are we saying? So Sami states they've gone to the car to charge Kiely's phone. Sami states they'd gone to the car to charge Kiely's phone, and they would talk about her texting her mum. So I'm guessing at this stage, is Kiely going to the car to charge her phone, and is it at this stage where she then texts her mum? Is that why the conversation is had? Because I can't think of any other reason why that would be brought up, unless it was at that stage that Kiely was indeed doing the message. I need to charge my phone, I've got to text my mum. And is that point where she texts her? That's quite important, because we're going to think that would be at around 11:30. So at around 11:30... Sami would have been with Kiely, unless she's being preemptive and saying, I've got to get my phone charged because I'm going to have to text my mum later. Bit strange, but who knows. There was apparently a few other friends in the car at this stage. Now, with Kate not in attendance, Jagger, Mags has gone. Who else was in the car? We've not heard any names. She'll happily throw other people's fucking names out there, because she says Mags and then she gives her full name. So it's just a little bit strange that she doesn't then mention anybody else, even their first names. I'm not saying that there weren't anyone else there. She obviously clearly doesn't want people to have their names. Now, at this point, Sami asks Kiely for a ride home. So when they're in the car, this is where this recording comes in. Sami asks Kiely for a ride home. Now, let's think of the time. Again, what sort of time are we looking at here? They've obviously talked about the text to the mum. There's no mention of the Jagger texts. We have that text from mum being sent at around 11:30, so they've been drinking for a while. So she then states that they separate, as you heard, and she goes to look for another ride. And as you can hear, she clearly states that going to look for another ride so they could. But she very quickly retracts that statement. Now, let's think about this for a second. So they've gone to the car, and in the car, Sami has stated to Kiely that she wants a ride home. She wants a ride home. Sami then leaves that vehicle, and immediately, as she's leaving the vehicle, she knows she's actively going to look for another lift. Now, later on, she goes on to say that she's going to look for another lift because drink driving, and she's smart. She knows the risks of drink driving. But she knew Kiely had already been fucking drinking. She'd been with her all night. She'd literally been with her since she arrived. So she controlled every single thing that Kiely was drinking. They shared drinks, traded drinks. So she then goes to the car, asks Kiely for a lift, and then she leaves the vehicle actively searching for another car so they could what? And is this why Kiely then later rings Sami? Because at this, she's the last conversation they actually have is the conversation where Sami asks Kiely for a lift. So then when Sami says that she met up with Kiely, she embraced and told her she was leaving and to take care of herself, yada yada yada, I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened at all. I think the last time these two spoke is when Sami asked Kiely for a lift. Now, did something else then go on from that? Or did Sami just then leave and left Kiely to it? But bearing in mind that Kiely was with Sami the entire night, they were like joined at the hip, drinking, sharing drinks, going for a pee, everything. Why would Sami all of a sudden go and just leave her? What did she mean by so we could? Am I reading into it too much? She was going to say something and she cut herself short. Let me know down below what you think. What could she have been about to say? And I'll see you all in the next one.